From the Academy of Holy Angels in Richfield, we proudly present another edition of high school girls basketball. Today, a pair of 3A teams are ready to do battle in a key non-conference matchup that could have some section and state implications should these two teams get that far. The undefeated Holy Angels Stars host the Como Park Cougars at 2-3. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Peden. Thank you as always for joining us for high school girls basketball coverage. Academy of Holy Angels, a strong program. That much was evident when they won the state championship last year. But never have they started 6-0 in a long time. And that includes wins over Maranatha, Totino Grace. Their most recent win, a runaway over Minneapolis Washburn. They handled Bloomington Kennedy with relative ease. It's a young but very deep team, as you've seen in the early part of the season. Their twin towers, a big reason for that, Destiny Oberg and Kaylee Vanderwerf. Destiny Oberg continuing her pace from last year, averaging a double-double. The sophomore has a lot of interest from various colleges, but a long way to go before she has to worry about making that decision. Vanderwerf transitioning nicely after coming here from Burnsville. And don't count out Riley Talhuber. Through 6 games, Talhuber averaging over 10 rebounds. And Megan Meyer providing a welcome boost of offense for the Stars. If Holy Angels can maintain this depth and talent, they could be even tougher in 3A than they were a year ago. Como Park, a young team. They haven't played since the last game we covered, a loss to Madison East, 80-66. Alexis Gray Lawson, the head coach, had her team run 112 sprints, 2 for each of the 56 turnovers they committed in the last 2 games. As expected, this team is having a rough transition without Andrea Adams, but she really wants this team to find a sense of accountability and leadership that has been missing since she graduated. They've had a week to practice to get Asia Shepard back into the lineup. Gray Lawson did note this team will likely have some more ups and downs as they continue to navigate with a young team, but she likes the direction they're going and she feels they will be increasingly competitive as the season moves along. Starting lineups are coming up in a moment. You're watching high school girls basketball.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Okay, for tonight's starting lineups, we'll welcome our guests from St. Paul Como Park High School, the Cougars. Starting at forward will be number 1, Aziza Shepard.
Welcome back to the Academy of Holy Angels in Richfield. Let's take a look at the starting 5. For the visiting Como Park Cougars, it's Asia Shepard, number 1. The senior forward, Rain Adams, number 11, the junior guard. Michaela Van Nett, number 23, the junior guard. Number 24, Elena Jones, the sophomore center. And number 40, Serena Cementelli, the junior center. Holy Angels will start the same 5 as last week, so you'll see Megan Thompson, number 11, the senior guard, Megan Meyer, number 21, the junior guard, Kaylee Vanderwerf, number 22, the freshman forward, Destiny Oberg, number 23, the sophomore forward, and Riley Talhuber, number 30, the junior guard.
And starting at guard for the Stars will be number 21, junior Megan Meyer. Starting at center for the Cougars will be sophomore number 24, Elena Jones. And starting at guard for the Stars will be junior number 30, Riley Talhuber. And running up that starting 5 for the Cougars will be center number 40, junior Serena Cementelli. And running up the starting 5 for the Stars will be senior point guard number 11, Captain Megan Thompson. Head coach of the visiting Cougars is Alexis Gray Lawson. Head coach of the Stars.
Alexis Gray Lawson in her second season leading the Cougars, and Dan Woods in his 5th season in his second stint here coaching Holy Angels.
Want to thank our officials tonight, without whom we would not have a contest, so thank you officials. All certified by the Minnesota State High School League.
Coma Park hoping to avoid a 3-game losing streak. They haven't had one of those in a while, and Holy Angels continuing what is perhaps an unprecedented run. As we've said, they've had some strong years, even in the 41-year gap between state tournament titles, but never a 6-0 start. We're underway. The first possession goes to the Stars. Destiny Oberg spin move, and just like that, our first basket.
That's 2 points for number 23, Destiny Oberg.
Oberg 6 to basketball, but is very efficient at it. Holy Angels forcing a turnover. The inside play for Vanderwerf is off the mark. Another steal. As we've noted in our previous broadcast, Holy Angels thrives in transition. Megan Meyer, often the beneficiary of transition attacks, as you saw there. Rain Adams for 3. That's going to be high. It's picked up by Asia Shepard. She can't bank it in. And Oberg with the rebound.
That's a 2-pointer by number 24.
Elena Jones with a heads-up play, though, to get the steal and nearly instantaneous score. Oberg. Nice skip inside the Talhuber for Dew. Talhuber averaging 8.8 points, and as we noted in the open, 10 rebounds a game, 10.2 to be precise. Van Ett pushing, wearing number 22 tonight instead of her usual 23. And a carrying violation on Holy Angels. Vanette averaging roughly 20 points a game. Shepard in her second game lost control of it, but deflected off Vanderwerf. It will stay with the Cougars. Como seeing this as a statement game against the defending 3A champions. Vanette missing the three. Vanette loves the three-point shot and will fire away almost unapologetically. Baseline J. Off the mark. Rebound and one for Megan Meyer. Megan Meyer, as you may know, when she's not playing basketball, participates in a lot of community service work, received the Blues Service Award last year. That's volunteering for 40 hours or more if you're not familiar with the Holy Angels program. Also played on the volleyball team that reached state earlier this year. And an 8-2 start for the Stars. The foul was charged to Rain Adams, her first. And Holy Angels will maintain possession. Shepard fouls Vanderwerf, and 2 free throws coming for the freshman. Vanderwerf averaging 10.2 points per game, 6.8 rebounds. Came over as an 8th to 9th grader, meaning she can participate without sitting out a year, which is usually the rule. And she splits there, but Oberg with the rebound and too strong on the follow-through. Jump ball, Como with the arrow. But a big break for the Cougars there. But the Holy Angels continuing their pressure and more free throws coming for Megan Meyer, who will shoot 2. Free throws were an issue last week in the Maranatha game. And speaking with Joe Berg, he noted it's a contrast of sorts from a year ago. Of course, they had Laurel Bagwell-Catalanich shooting most of the free throws on the team. But long way to go, and it's a facet they expect will improve over time. But they're off to a slow start here. However, the Holy Angels Stars are off to a 10-2 start overall. Vanette spots up and is off the mark. Nobody to rebound it. So Megan Meyer easily scoops it up. Tallhuber bouncing to Vanderwerf, and Holy Angels scoring at will down low. Megan Meyer up to 7 points already. And Alexis Gray Lawson gets the timeout call, and lucky that she did, because another turnover was in the making. Well, 12-2 start for the defending 3A champions. Holy Angels, I don't want to say this is a warm-up game, but this will be a good tune-up, whatever happens here, before they go to Hutchinson in a couple of days. Spin move and the finish for Megan Thompson. 14-2. If you're wondering, Como Park has faced a similar scenario before. Of course, that was with Andrea Adams. Rain Adams swipes the pass from Oberg, and Megan Thompson with the block from behind. She can't get it before it goes out of bounds. But Thompson's staying with Rain, and the two smallest players on the floor providing some dazzling moves of their own. I was going to say Como Park encountered adversity before of this nature against Minneapolis Southwest in the Twin Cities game. They trailed 15-0 to start. That's going to be a double dribble on Talhuber. 15-0 to start that game. Como would eventually win 91-89. Van Nett thought about the three, but Talhuber was there. The backdoor to Jones, and Como Park ends the Holy Angels run for now. Elena Jones with all 4 of Como's points thus far. Vanderwerth from 16. Off the mark. Cementelli with the rebound. Como looking for a leak out. Here's Autumn Tucker, who will shoot 2.
Fouls on the Stars, number 30, Riley Towler, that's her first. Team first, shooting 2, Autumn Tucker.
Autumn Tucker makes both free throws. And now it's 14-6. So Como Park, they have experienced early deficits before and bounced back, but again, being a smaller team, that's something they'll have to contend with. And Vanderwerf getting multiple offensive rebounds, and if that's on Shepard, that would be your third. It is. So Asia Shepard, who had foul problems in our last game with Madison East, already has 3 personal fouls. And we may not see her for a while. As we noted in our last Holy Angels broadcast, Vanderwerf gets a lot of practice with and against Destiny Oberg. And that will only help her get better. Rain Adams draws the blocking foul on Vanderwerf.
Fouls on the Stars, number 22, Kaylee Vanderwerf. That's her first, team second.
Cementelli from 15, low arcing shot goes in. Cementelli hasn't done a lot offensively, but with Shepard in foul trouble and Como's depth still developing, they may need her to fill in, but Como has cut the deficit down to 7 with 12:35 left in the first half. And it's possession by possession. Oberg with a bounce pass. No foul call, but it's a basket for number 32, Isabel Henry, one of the Henry twins for the Holy Angels Stars. Holy Angels bringing the pressure again, and it results in another turnover. Thompson over to Emma Henry. Who's the other Henry twin, I might add? Oberg through the hole and scores. 19-8. And Como all out of sorts here in the passing game. Thompson fires, cannot hit. And Van Ed boxing out Vanderwerf for the rebound. 5'5", beating 6'1" there. But once again, Holy Angels supplying the full court press. And it works again. Ball goes right to Jones. Cementelli will fire and gets the bank. And officials had to stop play because one of the photographers was in the escape lane. No, we can't have that. That's why the padding is there, even though there's a decent amount of space behind the backcourt, and the Henry twins demonstrating their backdoor passing skills. And it's 21-10. Emma Henry scoring the last basket. Another turnover. Thompson will fire the mid-range J and is off. Jones with the block as Talhuber tried to come up, or should say Emma Henry tried to come up with it. Van Ed hasn't got it going yet, but draining that floater might help. It's 21-12. Getting Van Ed on the board, always a key. Thompson. Out to Emma Henry, back over to Thompson. Oberg can't handle the entry pass and throws it away. And Como throws it away on the other end, and that's going to result in a cleanup for Emma Henry after her twin sister missed initially. Autumn Tucker from 15, pure. A lot of quick possessions on both sides here. And Oberg is fouled by Jones. Oberg closing in on the 1,000 career point milestone.
Foul is on the Cougars, number 24, Elena Jones, shooting 2 for the Stars, number 23, Destiny Oberg.
Always a prestigious honor to have 4 digits to your name. Doesn't always get the accolades that it should. But to get 1,000 points as a sophomore is a pretty good accomplishment. If you're wondering, the school record is held by Susan King, who graduated in 2000 and is remembered fondly by Dan Woods, who has been at Holy Angels for 30 years. And he reminisced about the battles that she and Lindsay Whalen had when Holy Angels and Hutchinson were Minnesota Conference rivals. We'll share a few more anecdotes from that story later. Van Ed hits her first 3 of the game, and with Michaela Van Ed, it's only a matter of time before she does. Seven-point margin. And for all of Como Park's struggles, again, they do have the wherewithal to hang around. We witnessed an example of that in their win over Kenyon Wanamingo a couple of weeks ago. Oberg, spin move, too strong. And Holy Angels thriving on offensive rebounds, much like they did a week ago when they played Maranatha. Oberg puts it in off the shovel pass from Talhuber. Oberg thrives in the paint, but showing a little mid-range flair on that instance. Rain Adams, the skip. They swing it out to Van Nett. Bullseye.
The three-point basket by number 22, Michaela Van Nett.
All right, well, both officials, should say the officials making sure no one's in the escape lane. Oberg showing her turnaround J. And she's up to a quick 9. And Rain Adams can't handle it. Well, it's not often that officials will stop the game to get camera operators out of the escape lanes, but safety is a priority. And we have 2 guys who do a great job running the cameras down there. Oberg, the skip to Vanderwerf, throws it up. And Jones couldn't handle it. But we may have an overruling. So the initial call is overturned. And Como will get the dead ball rebound. Autumn Tucker throws it away. Oberg. Dribble drive. Comes up short both tries. Autumn Tucker draws the foul on Meyer. 7:45 left in a high-octane first half. 28-20 our score. Tucker, corner 3. Looked like it was short, and it was. Jones can't put it back. Neither can Cementelli. And Oberg picks it up. Fires inside to Vanderwerf, and she'll shoot 2 again. The foul will be charged to Cementelli, and even though Como isn't that deep, fouling Vanderwerf may not be a bad thing. She has struggled from the free throw line, going 2 of 4 thus far.
That's her first team 6. Shooting 2 for the Stars, number 22, Kaylee Vanderwerf.
Holy Angels still pondering how to work in a 10 to 11 player rotation. They like the progress they've seen. Van Nett steps into another 3, and this one's going to be short. And Rain Adams won't be able to handle it. But she gets a break. Talhuber was chasing it down. Couldn't get there before going out of bounds, so Como Park maintains possession. Van Nett off to Jones. She'll fire the 3. Can't bank it in. Cementelli can't get to it. Thompson on the run. Looking to draw the foul there perhaps, and it didn't work. Van Nett 2-on-1. Hooks up with Rain Adams, and Como completes the fast break play. Rain Adams gets on the board. 7-point margin again, 29-22. Van Nett going for the deflection, can't get there. Thompson feeds Vanderwerf inside. And Cementelli forces her into a traveling situation. Cementelli holding her own thus far. Doesn't score a lot, but Como needs her until they can get Shepherd in the second half. And Van Nett with another mid-range J. Rain Adams slides for the steal. Did she get the timeout call in? She did. So Como has 3 remaining. Rain Adams might get a floor burn after that.
30-second timer.
But she's determined to keep Como around. And Como so far withstanding that early surge from Holy Angels. They trail by 5 and could close that margin even further following this next possession. And Rain Adams is someone Alexis Gray Lawson really wants to see develop without her big sister available. Feels she has the capability to become an offensive juggernaut. Her first couple of years on the Como roster, she developed more of a reputation for defense. Van Ed, deep 3 is good. And we've seen this in previous games with the Cougars. Van Nett with a strong first half, sustaining it has been problematic. But the Cougars will take her performance right now. She has 13 points and it's a 2-point game with 6 minutes left in the first half. Oberg out to Talhuber. She's got a hole. Off balance, no. And that was a foul on Jones. It looked like there was contact from up here.
Fouls on the Cougars, number 24, Elena Jones.
And Jones picks up her second.
Shooting 2 for the Stars, number 42, Ella Mastry.
Emma Mastre goes to the line. And the free throw difficulties continue to persist in a rather irritating fashion if you're a Holy Angels fan. But Mastre splits Holy Angels unofficially 6 of 13, reminiscent of a week ago with Maranatha. Tucker gets it off to Cementelli, and Cementelli is 6 points. It's a 1-point game. However, Holy Angels is in the bonus. Autumn Tucker getting the deflection. It will stay with Holy Angels. The Como Park pestering the defending 3A state champions. Oberg, turnaround. This time it's too strong. It goes to Rain Adams. Como could take their first lead of the game. Like we said before, they've worked their way out of jams in the past, but unable to do so in that possession. Jones has to be careful with the 2 fouls already. Oberg throws it up, a little out of control. Jump ball, Holy Angels with the arrow.
In the game for the Stars, number 32, Isabel Henry, and number 10, Emma Henry.
The Henry twins return to the floor for the Stars. 5:07 remains in the first half. And they throw it away. Henry twins unable to hook up on that pass. So what had the early makings of a Holy Angels rout is turning into an entertaining affair between a team that made their first state tournament appearance in school history a year ago and a school that ended a 41-year championship drought and a potential favorite to repeat with the baby-faced veterans, as I've called them over the years, or over the weeks. They won't stay baby-faced. Jones drives to ball still loose, and it bounces over to Tucker, who shows a little behind the back dribble. Cementelli blocked by Vanderwerf. And Rain Adams swooped in and draws the foul on Vanderwerf. The hustle plays are tilting in Como Park's direction. They'll call the foul on Oberg instead. In either case, the Cougars maintain possession. They were distraught early on, but they appear to comprehend the flow now. Rain Adams tried to thread the needle. Van Nett, no look pass. Cementelli can't get the bounce. Como with 3 chances to take the lead, and they come up empty. Thompson can't shimmy to the rim. Another jump. Como with the arrow this time. The degree of physicality increasing between two teams who understand the implications of this game. It's still December, but the outcome of this game could hold significant sway as Rain Adams tried to beat Oberg, can't do it. Chases down her own rebound, called for double dribble. And the reason for that, Oberg blocked her. No one else established possession, so Rain Adams couldn't touch it again. But you can't falter for the hustle play on that instance. Henry steps into a long 2, and that's off the heel. Had one-on-one coverage. Surprised she didn't drive there, but we have a long way to go. Van Nett inside to Rain. And Como Park finally takes their first lead of the game. Rain Adams averaging 10. And here comes Como with the pressure defense. Thompson resetting the offensive set. She'll take it herself, and that 3's well off. Tucker picks it up, but couldn't handle the dribble, lost it to Henry, and Vanderwerf will be there for the cleanup. And a foul was called on Holy Angels. I'm a bit perplexed by that call, but the officials have a better vantage point than I do. It looked like Van Nett was trapped near the sideline, and she gets a huge break there. The foul is the second on Vanderwerf. An unfortunate circumstance for the Stars. Como swings it around. Jones weaves through and can't get the bounce. Oh, that was a beautiful cut, too. Long 2. Swish. Megan Meyer. And she's up to 9. And we saw this in the Kenyon Wanamingo game in the case of Como Park, having trouble converting on key opportunities. And you need to convert against a team like Holy Angels. They force a jump and will get the ball via the possession arrow. 2:42 left, 34-31 our score.
In the game for the Stars, number 34, Rachel Kowecki.
So Holy Angels goes to Hutchinson, and then they'll get a couple of weeks off before taking part in a holiday tournament at Hill Murray. Jones intercepts the pass. A little out of control on the dribble drive, though. Van Nett swoops in. Jones picks it up, and we'll get 2 points this time. You thought last week's game with Maranatha was frenetic. Oberg hitting the long-range 2. You better not take a breath in this game. Someone might want to check their pulse. Van Nett can't hook up with Jones and throws it away. 1:57 left in the first half. That holiday tournament for the Stars, a couple of the high-caliber teams they may see are Mahtomedi and Wayzata. Wayzata in the same section as Hopkins. It's tough to see them get out of it for a state tournament berth, but Mahtomedi could be a matchup. Cementelli commits the foul on Oberg, and she'll shoot 2.
Fouls on the Cougars, number 40, Zarina Cementelli, shooting 2 for the Stars, number 23, Destiny Oberg.
And I spoke with Dan Woods before the game, and he said, as consistent as Oberg is in producing points and rebounds, numbers are the last thing on her mind.
In the game for the Stars, number
And you get that with a lot of players, especially at this level, girls or boys. They're not worried about how many points they score or how many rebounds they collect, as long as it's within the framework of the overall philosophy. Offensive rebound for Talhuber. Remember, she averages over 10 a game, but a traveling violation. I presume Oberg will continue to put up gaudy point and rebound totals, but you'll never hear her talk about it. Van Nett, elbow J, that's going to be short. And the ball bounces right to her. Throws up a wild shot and it goes in. So the easy shot doesn't fall, the tough shot goes in. Go figure. Tucker with the steal. Can she get to the basket? Yes! And the foul. So Tucker can give Como the lead with this free throw. The foul is on Henry, her first. And this young, scrappy Como Park bunch pouncing on some key opportunities here. The second half may come down to who gets tired first. Tucker cannot complete the three-point play, though. That was Como's second trip to the free throw line. And Van Nett fouls Thompson. I believe we're still in the 1-on-1 range. Megan Thompson, a state tournament participant in both basketball and soccer. GPA of over 4.0. We're in the 1-on-1 for number 11, Megan Thompson. They charged the foul to Tucker. It looked like it was on Van Nett. Interesting. So Thompson, National Honor Society member, volunteers at Mary's Place. And it looks like the official is going to get the foul corrected. It didn't look like it was on Tucker. Now they get it fixed. It was on Van Nett. I'm not a ref, never have been, probably never will be, but even I thought that ruling on Tucker was peculiar. So Thompson plays the clarinet, volunteers at Mary's Place, a very active member of the Holy Angels program. Splits there, and Rain Adams gives Como Park a 1-point lead again. Holy Angels unofficially 8 of 17 from the free throw line. 39-38 our score. Holy Angels may hold for the final shot, but with the pace these two teams are exerting, I don't think that's going to happen. No, it won't. Cementelli forcing Oberg into a tough angle down low. And now Como Park can extend their lead. Holy Angels mindful of Van Nett's three-point range. So she's going to try to set it up off the screen, and she'll be short. And the rebound will bounce over to Holy Angels. 22.2 on the clock, and number 22 goes back in. Dan Wood selling his team to go. Talhuber sees an opening and makes the most of it. 40-39. Como may hold for the final shot, but they won't get a chance. A double dribble violation on Tucker, much to her disbelief. And once again, Como Park, young and not as experienced without Andrea leading the way. Oberg firing the three. That will be short. Gets the bounce. No good. And Holy Angels with a bevy of second chances on that last possession. They cannot convert, but they do have a 40-39 lead over the Cougars going into halftime. If that score looks familiar, or at least the margin, they had the same advantage against Maranatha 1 week ago. And they were able to hang on for a win there. We'll see if they can do the same against a Como Park team that is looking for a statement win in the early part of the season. We'll come back with first half stats and analysis. You're watching high school girls basketball. Holy Angels leads Como Park 40-39. Welcome back to the Academy of Holy Angels, and we certainly wish it was summer in the city of Richfield as opposed to single-digit chilly weather, but we have a hot, fiery contest between a pair of 3A schools looking for a statement win. Holy Angels leading Como Park 40-39. What a wild first half it was. Como Park started on a 14-2 deficit, but rallied to make this a one-point game. They held the lead briefly on several occasions. Michaela Van Nett, the leading scorer for the Cougars with 15 points, followed by a quartet of sixes from Rain Adams, Elena Jones, Zarina Sementelli, and Autumn Tucker. 15 plus 24 gives it 39. Destiny Oberg leading the Holy Angels Stars with 12 points, followed by Megan Meyer with 9. Riley Talhuber, Emma Henry have 4 each. And I think, Gabe, you were a young lad when this song first came out? You probably were the only one alive of our group. Abe might have been the only one alive of our camera crew here. The Lovin' Spoonful, that's who it was, right? Como Park wearing the white, Holy Angels wearing the blue, if you haven't picked up on that by now. Van Nett. Nice skip pass to Rain Adams. And Van Nett has used herself as a decoy in a couple of occasions. And that time it paid off. Now Holy Angels, they had numbers for a moment. This is a fast-paced game. Neither team holding onto the ball for long. Oberg muscles her way in for a pair. And when Oberg establishes herself down low, she's tough to stop. Sementelli. Vanderwerf closes in on her this time. Shepard fires the 3. Rims out. Rain Adams on the follow-through. 43-42. And Talhuber bounced it off her foot. Rain Adams draws the foul. You don't see that often out of Talhuber. But every game is a learning opportunity. Again, these are two primarily young teams. Megan Thompson and Asia Shepard are the only two regular seniors for their respective teams. Rain Adams, as we noted, averaging 10 points a game, and one of our favorite stories to share about Rain Adams from Alexis Gray Lawson is that if you ask her to run into a wall, she'll reply with how fast. Rain loves going fast. And Como Park with their largest lead of the game, 45-42. Jump ball, Holy Angels with the arrow, but that's the second time in as many possessions where Talhuber has lost the handle. Oberg kicks out. Thompson had an opening for a moment. Meyer will fire, and the 3 is long. But she chases her own rebound, and Jones forcing the jump. Como with the possession arrow. Now, entering this game, I wouldn't blame you if you thought Holy Angels had the advantage. With their 6-0 start, Como at 2-3. And one of those losses being a heartbreaking defeat to Bloomington Kennedy. Rain Adams. I don't know if she got a hand on that, but Talhuber cannot convert the fast break play. And Rain Adams had trouble controlling the dribble. And Oberg couldn't handle it herself. That ball's almost as slippery as the roads in the Twin Cities metro area. Somebody's got to work on that grip. Shepard had nowhere to go. Easy pickings for Oberg. Thompson. Bounces over to Vanderwerf. And Kaylee goes to 7 points with that basket. Vanette loves to step into those long-range shots. Rain Adams steals it from Oberg. Vanette picks it up, tries to post up on Oberg, and that time 6'1", one out. And Oberg is fouled on the rebound. He'll be charged to Vanette. That will be her second personal foul. Como Park losing to Bloomington Kennedy after going up by 16. Holy Angels handling Kennedy pretty convincingly. When you factor that in among some of the other results, all the metrics would indicate Holy Angels having the advantage. And they still could pull out the win, but Como Park making them earn it. Elena Jones hit with a foul. And again, depth will be tested for the Cougars. No, they charge it to Vanette instead. That's her third. Dan Woods having a word with Megan Meyer as Vanderwerf makes her free throws. They like her wingspan, they like her speed. The Holy Angels staff does. And they'll like the fact that she put both free throws in. Holy Angels now 10 of 19, and they reassume the lead, 46-45. Shepard fires the three. Still has not hit a long-range shot. And Holy Angels with the arrow. This is Shepard's second game back with the Cougars after missing the first four. Como Park has not played since the loss to Madison East, giving Alexis Gray Lawson a week to practice and work on a few things. Vanderwerf with another spin move and another score. And the Angels, or I should say the Stars, go up by 3. Jones looking to erase that. Cannot. And Oberg with a pretty easy rebound. Meyer, long two, is short. Talhuber hustling. Meyer cannot finish, but Vanderwerf rips it away from Cementelli, and Elena Jones will be hit with a foul. Holy Angels adept at making adjustments between first and second half. It was a point of pride for Joe Berg when I talked to him pregame. Jones and Vanette now have 3 fouls each. Meyer makes it a 2-possession game.
In the game for the Stars,
Meyer plays 3 sports. Was part of the volleyball team that reached the 2A state tournament. And Holy Angels now converting from the charity stripe as they push their lead to 5. They've led by as much as 12 before Como rallied. But as we've seen in Holy Angels games, being astute as they are and making adjustments, they can really crush teams in the second half, and they could be heading in that direction again. A little bit of moisture on the ball that has to be dried off. But Holy Angels, remember, they had a tough one with Tino Grace in the first half of that game at St. Thomas before running away for a 61-36 win against Maranatha, led by 1 going into halftime. Trailed briefly, 1 by 9. Taking advantage of some Maranatha miscues. And that would have been a big 3, but one reason they are so astute at second half comebacks, it goes to the foundation of offensive rebounding. They can't corral the rebound there. But with the twin towers of Destiny Oberg and Kaylee Vanderwerf, along with the rebounding skills of Riley Talhuber, They possess a lot of intangibles you don't necessarily see in 3A. Cementelli off the skip from Shepherd. And Cementelli with perhaps her strongest game of the season. Thompson on the line, off the heel. Some sloppy passing again from Como Park. And a clean block on Jones. Como Park going to their zone. And left alone for three. Bullseye is Isabel Henry for her first field goal. And that makes it a 6-point lead for the Stars. And that was ruled a deflection off of Isabel Henry. 13:22 left in the second half, and Como Park had 3 timeouts remaining. Alexis Gray Lawson will use one of them here. If you're wondering, by the way, Cementelli has a season high. Her previous high was 2. So we mentioned in the first half, Dan Woods reminiscing about the Holy Angels history he has witnessed. He jokingly says he's responsible for 3 of the 4 jersey retirements at this school, a reference to their football program. As you may know, Holy Angels is the alma mater of Larry Fitzgerald with the Arizona Cardinals. But he noted the rivalry that developed between Susan King, who went on to Stanford and played briefly in the WNBA, and Lindsay Whalen. I don't need to tell you what she has done since her days at Hutchinson. The 2 players met 8 times. Susan King only won once, but it happened to be the last meeting. What amuses Dan Woods the most, though, is not getting a win for King and the Holy Angels Stars. Susan King got the Miss Basketball Award in 2000. Lindsay Whalen was 3rd team All-Metro. And he keeps an archive of that year's All-Tournament team as a reminder of how what you see on the surface doesn't always translate underneath. But he said it was a great rivalry between the 2, and Cementelli doing some work in the post, and Como Park needs every bit of it. 10 points. The junior, who split time between JV and varsity last year and played some JV earlier tonight, is coming up big. Vanderwerf cannot get the bounce. Olberg is there. Too low. Picks it up again. The fadeaway is short. Shepherd with the rebound. Como doesn't have the numbers for transition, but Shepherd's going to go to the rim anyway, and not a wise move. Isabel Henry with a block. Henry hasn't done much, just the 1-3, but passes out, and Holy Angels, but perhaps one of their longer sets we've seen thus far. Oberg posts up on Cementelli, I should say, sneaks around her, and she's up to 16 points with that last basket. 12:05 left, 55-49. Autumn Tucker returns. We mentioned in the open Como Park doing 112 sprints, and afterward she had a discussion with the captains on why that took place, and it wasn't just because of the turnovers. Gray Lawson wants this team to get in better shape, suspecting that if her rotation is going to be smaller than last year, she's going to need more fitness out of her group, and Autumn Tucker swishes the triple. And Autumn Tucker can be streaky, but if she finds her rhythm, can be a great source of offense. Remember, she had a strong second half in the win over Kenyon Wanamingo. And it's a 3-point game. Oberg forced into a jump. Como with the arrow. And Autumn Tucker, I believe, got her hands in there. Como refusing to go away. But resilience is a part of their mantra. Rain Adams throws it away, though. And an easy deuce for Emma Henry. Once again, the pressure defense is absolutely bewildering the Cougars. And these long cross-court passes are dangerous as a result. Cementelli, tough shot, doesn't go in. It has always been pretty for the Holy Angels Stars. And a collision between Henry and Jones, nothing was called. And Como forcing the turnover. But Holy Angels showing a little more poise and a little less position to flinch. Van Nett with another no-look pass. Cementelli almost lost it that time. Van Nett from the corner. Bullseye! That's her first basket of the second half. Remember, she's had strong first halves and struggled in the second because she's the ball handler. Some suspect it may be fatigue. It could be adjustments. And Cementelli called for the blocking foul on Vanderwerf. But for Como Park to find success this season as the games go along, and their schedule features some more tough teams coming up. Cromwell Wright awaits them on Friday at home, one of the top teams in Class A. They need to find a way to get more consistency out of Van Nett. Oberg beats Cementelli again. Stars up by 4. Jones is fouled. It's on Oberg. Just her second. No one in serious foul trouble for the Stars. But Elena Jones, who's averaging 13 points per game, can shoot 2. This is the first. Now, let's see what happens this time. The last time we covered Como with the Madison East game, you may recall she jumped the line after releasing her second shot, which is a no-no. Let's see if she stays put this time. She does. So the second one will count. And it's a 3-point game. Oberg on Jones this time. Too far underneath, but the cleanup from Talhuber makes it a 5-point game. And Como throws it away again. And these are the kinds of turnovers that absolutely frustrate Alexis Gray-Lawson. And she conceded that sometimes the defense gets the better of you, especially in pressure situations. But the live ball turnovers, when no pressure is applied, are the most deflating for her. And those kinds of miscues unraveled their efforts to beat Madison East 10 days ago. Talhuber bounces over to Oberg. She'll try to go up on Jones again. Well, she'll pad her rebounding and point totals after that play. Oberg up to 20. And likely has another double-double. Holy Angels looking for the knockout blow here, and they just might get it. Megan Meyer, fouled by Tucker. No, a jump. Holy Angels with possession, but Tucker denies Meyer a fast break opportunity. .909 in regulation. Pivotal point here in this game. Meyer for 3. That's short. And the rebound goes off of Shepard. Holy Angels will get another try. And Tucker forcing another jump, this time Como with the arrow. We mentioned Cromwell Wright in Como's schedule. Some other games of note. Matamidi, the number 3 team in 3A. They will host the Zephyrs on January 3rd, and then they will take on Hopkins, part of an MLK event with the Super 60 organization. Megan Meyer, once again, cannot convert a fast break play. And the scramble for the ball is eventually won by the Cougars. Vanette throws up a shot, and Holy Angels with the arrow this time. Tal Huber's defense shuts her down. Last year it was easier for Vanette to maintain an offensive presence, having Andrea helping her out. This year, having to be that leader has proven more difficult. But as we said in the open, Alexis Gray-Lawson eager to find more accountability for this team and more initiative. Nice ball movement, and Tal Huber with the finish. Is this another example of those strong second half efforts from Holy Angels? Will make Michaela Vanette has other ideas. Vanette up to 21. Thompson counters with her own tray. Thompson hasn't scored much, but she's up to 6 and pushes the Holy Angels lead to 9. Shepard out to Cementelli. They will give her that shot. And Oberg with another easy rebound. Time winding down. Vanderwerf on Jones. Goes up, no good. Tal Huber cannot get the follow through. Como on the run. Vanette to Shepard. Count the basket, and Shepard will have a shot at 3. Asia Shepard. Who had just 2 points in her first game with Madison East, has just scored her first basket of the game.
Asia Shepard in the game for the Stars, number 34, Rachel Kowacki.
Cannot complete the 3-point play, but at the very least it gave Como a chance to catch their breath. Another backdoor feed, and Tal Huber again. She becomes the 4th Holy Angels player to reach double digits, 70-61. That was their winning score a week ago. I don't think it's going to stay that way this time. But Holy Angels defense down low, absolutely fascinating to watch. But Tal Huber inconsistent on her second chance opportunities. Vanette wants the 3, fires, and a late foul is called. Vanette will go to the line to shoot 3.
3-shot foul called on number 11 of the Stars, Megan Thompson, shooting the 3 will be number 22,
Vanette
Michaela Vanette.
becoming the vocal leader of this team. And if she can parlay her first half performances to a full 36 minutes, Como Park could be a sleeper in their section. Section 4-3A, as of this point, is open for the taking. Hill Murray has struggled. De La Salle is struggling to start the year. Como, again, has struggled, although you do have that Centennial game with the asterisk. She gets 2 of 3 to make it a 7-point game. And Tal Huber will go to the line for 2. Tal Huber, as you know, the daughter of former Golden Gopher Jen Zeller. Jones picking up her 4th personal foul. And the stats would say otherwise in terms of Talhuber creeping up on you and rebounding, because he's averaging 10 a game. I don't think you can discard such a statistic. She splits there. But take a look at this balance from Holy Angels when we get a moment. Tucker faking the three. Kicks out to Van Nett, who will fire one for real. Swish! Van Nett up to 26. And once again, Como making another charge. It's a 5-point game. High-low, and Talhuber with the finish. Talhuber with a brilliant second half. She has 9 points in the second frame. Van Nett received the pass, foul before the shot. Both teams with a foul to give. Oberg leading the Stars with 20 points. But listen to this. Talhuber, 13. Vanderwerf, 11. Megan Meyer, 11. That's the kind of balance the Holy Angels coaching staff is pining for this season with their deeper roster and the plentiful amount of experience coming back. Van Nett again, short this time. 73-66. Rain Adams times the pass and draws a blocking foul on Talhuber. They will give her continuation, so it's a shooting foul, and that was the last foul to give for the Stars. It's the third on Talhuber, and even if Como doesn't win this game, I think Alexis Gray Lawson will be pleased with the progress her team has made since their last game 10 days ago. And Rain Adams with the highest arc I have seen out of any free throw shooter can add to her numbers here as she gets the front end. Splits there, but I can tell you that Rain has a new season high with 13 points. Rachel Kowicki with her first basket, and the high-low feed produces another highlight for the Stars. Rain Adams used up the dribble, needs help. Finds Van Nett. They swing it around. They'll give Shepard the three, and that's why not the most accurate. Shepard has struggled mightily to develop a three-point shot, and it just hasn't come. Not without consistency, anyway. Or not with consistency. 4.5 to play. Oberg, turnaround, got it. Tucker drains the runner off the window, but it's 2 points nonetheless. Speaking of season highs, Oberg has one as well. No foul called. Oberg with the follow-through. I was surprised, though, that Cementelli wasn't hit for the bump on Meyer. In any event, Oberg pushes her total up to 24. Van Nett fires, a bit too crazy. And Holy Angels with a 10-point lead. And it looks like this could be the knockout blow we were looking for. Oberg left alone. Goodbye. And Alexis Gray Lawson will call timeout. 3:40 left. And the Holy Angels Stars, they lead by 12 again. Matching their largest lead, which came at 14-2. That gives us a chance to catch our breath. And if you followed our broadcast, you've often heard about the upset card that Holy Angels played. Not being in the discussion with Orono and Hutchinson in the 3A last year. Different story this year, but speaking with Dan Woods and Joe Berg. They have a lot of pride here and have a lot of fond memories of the history they've established with this program. And Holy Angels, even when they haven't won championships, they've been a front runner in 3A. You may recall their 2005 state tournament run when they ran into Faith Johnson-Patterson in the 3A final, losing to the North Polars, which completed a three-peat, the last state championship for the girls basketball program. And some of the Holy Angels players responding valiantly to the student section. And they have plenty of reasons to rally with a 12-point lead. Dan Woods, the Dean of Students here at Holy Angels, and also teaches woodshop. And he tells incoming parents, or parents of incoming students all the time, the teaching job and his name are pure coincidence. There was no conspiracy. But what's more important is the passion and dedication he has put into this program for 30 years as a teacher and his 18 years of experience as a coach for the girls basketball program. Took some time off, came back, and he's making Holy Angels fun again, if they weren't already. But they do commit a turnover, though, so Como Park does have a lifeline. Let's see if they can make the most of it. Tucker out to Shepard. Shepard into a wall, and Vanderwerf with the block. And you see this happen sometimes with younger or less experienced players. Traveling violation on Vanderwerf. And some of the observations I gathered from Como Park parents and fans include a difficulty of trusting each other. That's not to say this is a selfish, conceited group, but they need to find the confidence that their comrades will get the job done, as Asia Shepard proves on the drive, and a chance for three. And for Como Park, we talk about Van Net's consistency being a path to success. Finding a rhythm for Asia Shepard and getting her acclimated after missing the first 4 games of the year is another imperative. Because the quicker she can adapt, the more options Como Park will have. And Alexis Gray-Lawson believes Shepard will have an integral role on the welfare of this team. Their numbers dipped a bit. Kaylee Vanderwerf completes the entry feed. From Henry, and Van Nett throws up a tough shot. And it looks like Holy Angels will maintain their undefeated record. In our last broadcast, we discussed Holy Angels and their increase in participation after their state championship. Como's numbers dipped a bit. That's a foul on Rain Adams. Inconsequential at this point with 1:56 left. Como's numbers dipped a bit. They're not fielding a C squad this year. And it didn't help matters that the school, not long after Como's one and done in the state tournament, they were knocked out by Becker in the quarterfinals. Foul on Rain Adams, her second. It didn't help that the school was afflicted by an embezzlement scandal from Mike Searles, their former athletic director. He's no longer with the school. As Emma Henry gets a tough shot to fall. And forces the deflection. Depth, poise, and discipline favoring Holy Angels once again. But when you have such a scheme befall the athletic director of a program, that can make some folks nervous. Not much has been talked about since then, but it was certainly more than a glancing blow after a high point for the program. But Como Park moving on and doing so without fuss. And when you have a coach who stresses accountability, fitness, and developing a culture, cultivating it the way Alexis Gray Lawson does, there's no reason to believe that Como Park can't compete as the season moves along. Holy Angels withstanding several charges from Como Park. The score may not reflect it, but Como made the Holy Angels earn this victory. But it's going to be tough to overcome their balance. They're going to run out the clock here. They have 85 points. They've done more than enough. And a rather tranquil ending after a wild and heart-pounding start.
Calls on the Cougars, number 10.
Isabel Henry will have a chance to pad her numbers. So we mentioned Holy Angels. They have Hutchinson coming up. Tri-Metro Conference right now doesn't appear to give them any obstacles, but that can always change. And they have another big matchup in February with Edina, a top 10 team in 4A, and a clash of styles. As you know, Edina likes to play it slow. Holy Angels not afraid to mash the accelerator. A valiant effort from Como, but it will be a little bit short. Autumn Tucker finishes with a reverse. That will give her 13. But Holy Angels stays undefeated. They go to 7-0 with an 87-73 win over Como Park. Destiny Oberg, the leading scorer, with 26. Riley Talhuber and Kaylee Vanderwerf with 13 each. Vanette, the leading scorer for Como, with 26. Getting a little more consistent second half effort. And Autumn Tucker with 13. Rain Adams with 13. Rain Adams and Destiny Oberg with season highs. Well, that wraps things up here from the Academy of Holy Angels in Richfield. We'll have a post-game interview coming up. You're watching high school girls basketball. And I'm joined by Riley Talhuber and Destiny Oberg of the Holy Angels Stars. Riley, we'll start with you. How does it feel to be 7-0?
Very good. It's a great way to start the season.
And it's a start that Holy Angels hasn't had in a long time, despite their success, including the state tournament last year. What do you think is clicking throughout these first 7 games?
I really think it's team chemistry and confidence going into the games.
And that's it?
Yeah.
Well, that's all right. It's okay to be succinct. One thing's for sure, though, Como made you earn this game tonight. They kept coming at you in waves, and every time you built a lead, they would come back with a charge. How were you able to pull it out in the end?
I really think determination and just keep hustling, keep good defense, and always keep shooting and things like that.
You also were pretty good at finishing some backdoor and high-low plays.
Yeah, that's what I really pulled together today.
And we've talked a lot about this youth and experience on this team. How would you say you've developed over the years, and how do you think that state tournament run aided that development to what we've seen this season?
I've grown a lot as a player through these years, and the coaching is great, and I think that just the team all together is just getting all better together, so that's good.
And Destiny, I guess you could say you put in a lot of sweat equity tonight down low. And I don't say that just because you're showing some perspiration, but Como made you work for it. They're a small team, but they made you fight for all of those 26 points.
Oh, yeah, they're really physical, and I had a lot of help from Kaylee, and it was just a team effort to get it done.
And how do you handle a fast-paced game like this? Both teams didn't hang on to the ball for very long.
You just take it one play at a time and let it come to you.
And then what would you say is evident in this 7-0 start?
I feel like we've been really patient, and I feel like we worked hard to get here.
And how did that patience come through in the second half? Because you went in the locker room up by 1. Como made several charges at you, and they didn't play like a 2-3 team.
I feel like we buckled down starting the second half, and we kind of settled down and did what we do.
And how has this team come together through the first 7 games of the season?
We've gotten to know each other more and more every game. We kind of learn each other's strengths and weaknesses, and we just take what we have.
And for as much excitement as last year's state tournament brought, what does it mean to have this kind of a start? Of course, I know you want to win another state title, but to have this kind of beginning, something Holy Angels hasn't had in a long time, I imagine has to bring some sort of satisfaction.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not really surprised because I know what we can do, and I know that there's a group of girls that are willing to work hard and get it done.
You got a season high tonight. Are we going to see you hit 30 later on this year?
I hope so. Let's see.
Do you have anything to say about that, Riley?
I think she will. She's for sure going to hit 30.
You're not going to try to stop her?
No.
Just go up instead of passing it, do a little fake out? I don't think there's any sense of selfishness. And actually, your head coach, Dan Woods, told me that points and rebounds, in your case, Destiny, that's not something you think about. And so I know you can get them in bunches, but how do you make sure that doesn't interfere with what you're trying to do?
I have a lot of trust in my teammates, and I know that if we get everyone involved, they're all going to get excited and do their part and get it done.
And anyone you want to say hi to? I know we've asked you that question, Destiny, but Riley, let's give you a chance to say hello.
I don't know. I guess my team and my family, I guess.
Say one of them standing right by you. If you don't say hi to her, tomorrow's practice might be unpleasant. And let's give you the soapbox, Destiny. Anything you'd like to say?
Again, shout out to my brother Fabo. He's at college watching this. Shout out my mom, and my grandma's in town. What's up?
Well, I'm sure your grandmother cheered on every one of your 26 points. Hopefully you'll give her a few more reasons to cheer as the season moves along. But congratulations, and we'll see if we can keep this undefeated start going.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Riley Talhuber and Destiny Oberg of the Holy Angel Stars. That wraps up our coverage here from Richfield. For our entire crew, I'm Mike Peden. Thank you for watching high school girls basketball.